Hello, today I will try to discuss on how to increase the chance of pregnancy among couples, that means husband and wife, who have, for pregnancy to occur, a lady or a woman should produce egg and release egg monthly, and should have sexual activity with her husband, and sperm should enter to female reproductive system, so fertilization will occur. And as known, a lady produce egg, and the egg will be released either from right or left ovary monthly, and this egg need to meet with sperm cells during sexual activity, so that when the egg released from a lady's ovary meets with sperm cell, they will meet in fallopian tube usually, and fertilization will occur. Then pregnancy occur and will continue. And what is known is usually following sex, sperm cells can live in female reproductive system for 3 to 5 days. And the following ovulation, that means following a lady releasing egg from ovary, the egg will only survive for only 12 to 24 hours. So to increase the chance of pregnancy, the chance of fertilization, the couples need to have sex just 8 days before expected date of ovulation, during the day of ovulation, and after a day of ovulation. So to know whether the lady is ovulating, that means releasing eggs cyclically, a lady should know her menstrual cycle well, and she should know that the frequency of menstrual cycle, how frequent the menses comes. Is it every 28 days, every 27 days, every 26 days, or like this, and for how long the menses or bleeding will stay. So a lady should know her pattern of menstrual cycle for at least 3 to 6 months. So if she know her frequency of her menstrual cycle, then she can calculate, she can know her fertility window. A fertility window is a time when a lady need to have sex with her husband either daily or every other day, starting 5 days from up to the day of ovulation, during the day of ovulation, and after the day of ovulation. That means from the time 5 days before ovulation to a day after ovulation is a fertile period when a couple should have sex to increase their chance of pregnancy. And this is a summary of table that try to tell for different cycles. That means for example, for a lady having menstrual cycle that comes every 25 days, her expected date of ovulation is on the 11th days of the cycle. That means a day a menses come is counted as day 1, then day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and they continue like this. So a lady having her menstrual cycle that comes every 25 days, her expected day of ovulation is on the 11th day of the cycle, and her fertile period is just 5 days before expected date of ovulation. That means on the day 6 to up to 12 days. So this period, during this period, the couples, the husband and the wife, need to have sexual activity, if possible daily, if not possible every other day, to increase their chance of pregnancy. And for example, if a lady's menstrual cycle comes every 28 days, her expected date of ovulation is on 14th day of the cycle. And so a lady need to have 5 days from the expected date of ovulation. That means starting from her 9th day of the cycle up to 15 days, they need to have sexual activity frequently to increase the chance of getting the ovum, the egg, and get pregnancy. And so for different frequency of menstrual cycle, the expected date of ovulation is shown, and when they should start sexual activity, for how long they are going to do, is present in the table. So if you know your menstrual cycle frequency, you can check for your day of ovulation and when you are going to start sexual activity to increase your chance of getting pregnancy. And if the other are checking for the sign and the symptoms of ovulation, So if you know the sign and symptom of ovulation, just you can start sexual activity just about 5 days from the day of ovulation. That can be every day sexual activity or every other day, so will increase the chance of pregnancy. And one way to know is by checking using a kit test. Using kit test, as it is known, usually ovulation occurs following luteal surge. That means following a high level of LH, and following luteal surge, ovulation occurs a day after luteal surge. And so using kits which are used to detect luteinizing hormone, which is responsible for ovulation, they can check like checking for pregnancy test in the urine. Using kits, they can check whether luteinizing hormone is positive or negative. The day kit is positive will be followed by ovulation. So a lady will then go 5 days from before the day of luteal surge positive or kit positive, and they can start sexual activity, and they increase their chance of pregnancy. But using kits checking for day of ovulation might not be possible, because the kits might not be available or might be expensive and will not be available everywhere. So with this method it might not be possible. And the other is by using cervical mucus. As you know, just days before expected date of ovulation, a lady will have high level of estrogen in her body. This high level of estrogen will increase secretion from cervical mucus. So a lady who has excessive watery discharge from the cervix, which can even weight her underweight, and this period is going to be wet period, and this is a time when a lady need to have sex. And fluid secreted from the cervix can be checked by inserting index finger into the cervix and take the fluid out, and the fluid usually looks like fluid of broken egg, which is egg white fluid. And so if she has increased fluid secretion from the cervix, this fluid is usually important one for lubrication during sexual activity, and increase the chance of transporting sperm to the uterus and the fallopian tube. So during the wet period, that means days before expected date of ovulation, and so a lady can have sexual activity during wet period or during increased cervical mucus secretion, so that they can increase their chance of getting pregnancy. The other way to know whether a lady is ovulating or not is, as I've already said, 8 days before ovulation, a lady will have high level of estrogen, which will increase the desire for sexual activity. Not only increase desire of sexual activity, a lady usually looks sexy and will attract for sexual activity. So this is the other. That means just days before ovulation, the lady have increased desire for sexual activity, they will be sexy, and this is the other sign of ovulation. And so using this during the time when they have increased desire for sexual activity, they can have sex with their husband, so that increases their chance of pregnancy. The other way to know whether a lady is ovulating or not is by measuring basal body temperature. Basal body temperature is a temperature measured just in a woman was sleeping, just before she awake up from the sleep, and using thermometers they can measure her body temperature. And usually following ovulation, because now hormone called progesterone will increase, and this is thermogenic, and body temperature usually increase by up to 0.2 to 0.5 degrees Celsius. And the increased body temperature, if a lady is following her body temperature in early morning before she wake up throughout the cycle, the day she start to have increased body temperature will tell you that the lady has ovulated. So using basal body temperature, she can, if she pick up when her body temperature is going to raise, just 5 days before increase basal body temperature, they can have sexual activity with her husband, so that will increase the chance of getting of egg and increase the chance of fertilization. In the other way, signs, we can check whether the lady is ovulating and when you need to have sexual activity is if a lady knows her cervical status, which is the gateway to the uterus. She can check whether cervix is soft or firm, is open or closed. And what's known is just days before ovulation, that means during fertile period, her cervix is usually very high up and it's very soft and it will open. This will facilitate the entry of sperm cells during sexual activity. And just days after ovulation, cervix will be low down, it's firm and closed, so that even infectious agents, sperm will not be able to enter. So by checking the consistency and whether the cervix is open or not throughout the cycle, she can know that when she is fertile and when she is going to have sexual activity to increase the chance of pregnancy. The other signs and the symptoms of ovulation is breast tenderness, and this is usually because of high estrogen level just days before ovulation, and this high estrogen level will cause breast pain, and this pain is usually cyclic, and with this way they can check that they are going to ovulate. And this is other sign of ovulation. With this checkup they can increase the chance of getting pregnancy. The other sign of ovulation and sign and symptoms of ovulation is what is called ovulation pain. As is known, the egg is released cyclically, either from right or left ovary. So when the egg is released from the ovary, it will rupture the capsules and there will be minimal bleeding. And this bleeding will cause rupturing of the capsule and the bleeding. The minimal bleeding will cause pain, and this pain is usually cramping or sharp in type, and this pain usually stays for 1 to 2 days. And this pain is called Michaelis pain, mid-cycle pain, and a day she start to have at the middle of the cycle, a day she start to have pain is a day when ovulation occurred. So you need to have sexual activity on that day and the day after pain to increase the chance of getting pregnant. So with this, a lady can know whether she is ovulating and her fertile period, and increase the chance of pregnancy. But what is most important is it might not be possible to know the exact day of ovulation. So if they need to have pregnancy, a lady with a couple need to have sexual activity, if possible throughout the menstrual cycle, or 3 to 4 times per week. If they have frequent sexual activity during fertile period or 3 to 4 times per week, they can increase their chance of pregnancy. So with this, a lady can identify whether she's ovulating and when she's going to get pregnant. Thank you.